And, I have to say with Trump, it really was capsulized well today with Rush Limbaugh. Was his theme was on that particular part of the show was Trump, and he was referring to the response to the audience member who said that Cruz is a pussy. The way he reacted, his mannerism, he said, look, the fact of the matter is Trump has a performer's instinct. He's so natural up there. He's so funny. He's so good at reacting, and he's so good at connecting with his body language that it makes it so entertaining for people, even if you're not voting for him. And that's the reality I feel.
Entertaining, but also I think a lot of it is very predictable. I think he's playing people like violins, and they don't even know what happened to them. The other thing I want to say, by the way, about that whole P word thing is, I find the P word and the C word, I just, listen, my ears and my mouth have heard and uttered, the F word and the A word and all of that. I'm not going to lie. I try to be a lady, but I'm not going to lie. And I think that if we went to the White House and we were flying to the wall, we would hear Barack and Michelle Obama saying all kinds of stuff.
Well, I know Barack doesn't like that word very much for obvious reasons, or not that obvious reasons.
But, he invents all these sleazebag, lowlife, F-word, bomb-throwing rappers to the White House all the time. You know that kind of stuff is going on there. Yeah. We know that those kinds of words were uttered throughout the Clinton administration there. And, times have changed.
Not during Reagan.
I'm sorry?
Not during Reagan. He wouldn't even take his jacket off in the Oval Office.
He was classy, but I don't think it's been that classy since George H.W. left the White House. I'm not a fan of his, but the Bushes were classy people. But I bet you Jeb Bush is uttering all kinds of swear words, and he's probably used the P word.
Yeah, but he's never getting anywhere near the White House. But what about W? I don't think W.
But you know what I'm saying. Privately, you know that all these people have used these words.
Right.
So to me, it's not as big of a deal. To me, the presidency was.
I'm not sure W did as president. I'm not sure W conducted himself that way as president.
Behind the scenes, you don't think he used those words? Come on.
He might have. He might not. I simply don't know. I certainly before he went into rehab, but.
Well, I'm sure his liberal twin daughters did, and I'll bet you that they use those words. And here's the other thing. I mean, listen, I worked in Washington. Republicans and conservatives.
Right. I'll bet Ben Carson doesn't. I'll bet Ben Carson does not.
I'll bet you're right. Ben Carson doesn't.
Class act.
And I worked for evangelical Christian member of Congress, and a Republican, and none of his staff, neither his staff nor he used those kinds of words ever. But I worked for other Republicans, and they all swore like sailors. I mean, everyone did it. And so Donald Trump doing it out loud, yeah, I think it takes things down a notch, but that's the society we're in now. We're in a hip-hop world, unfortunately, where people have no class, everything is depraved, and we've defined deviancy down a zillion times a zillion, and I mean geometrically, and then not only that, but we're a Kardashian-fied society. I mean, The most famous celebrities are famous because they've made porn tapes, or because they got fake breasts implanted and changed their name to Caitlyn. So, the world has changed. I would point out, I don't use the P word or the C word ever. I've never used those words. They just bother me. But I would point out that the person that did this for the audience was a woman. Yes. And not only that, but Donald Trump was only repeating what she said.
Yes.
And the other thing I would point out is a lot of people that I heard being upset by this were not so much Republicans and conservatives, but liberals, and especially liberal women, which I think is funny because some of the things liberal women have called me on Twitter and on social media, they've used the C word and the P word against me all the time.
Right.
They use that more than they change underwear. And the other thing is that these liberal women...
most people only change underwear once a day. Maybe
that's true. Well, and these women are using those words more than once a day.
Okay.
That's in their regular vernacular, their vocabulary. And here's the other thing. If you look at, and I wrote about this on my site, and I think it's a bad thing for America, but we have to recognize that, unfortunately, this is the society we're in. Listen, look at what were the most popular books for the last several years. They're basically erotica books. They're books like the 50 Shades of Grey. And
That
so
was
on. And why are they
boring. By the way, that was terrible.
Oh my God! I thought I was reading something written by a fifth grader.
I mean, it wasn't even that. It was just boring.
So boring, so stupid, ridiculous. But anyway, these are the books that women are making popular. So if they're so offended by what Donald Trump said when he was repeating what somebody else said, I mean, he did that on purpose, but still, he was repeating what someone else said that what a woman said. If they're so bothered by that, why are they flocking in droves to, their Kindles and to the books?
It's all poserism. Look, Bill Clinton's a rapist. They don't have a problem with him. Hey, the one thing I want to say, though, I do have a problem. I mean, nothing offends me, but I do have a problem with that as an epithet. Well, I mean, I just always say to heterosexual guys using that term, I said, why are you using that? I thought you like it. I mean, why would you use that as an epithet, you know? And the other thing is, like, I mean, just objectively speaking, cats are pretty tough animals. They'll sit and stalk a mouse for 8 hours. They like to kill things.
See, I don't agree. I think cats are the wimpiest animals, and I've written about this on my site many times. It's like, to me, a dog, that's a real pet. A cat is a prima donna. They not only won't bark or make a noise or meow or whatever.
They'll fight.
When a robber comes, they'll probably show the robber where the jewelry
Have you been to Israel lately, where the cats are feral? They're tough.
No, I haven't.
And by the way, having theoretically a baby comes out of the P word too. And I imagine, I will never go through that, but I imagine that requires a lot of toughness for that particular organ.
Yeah, I guess, but it's a very derogatory term. But guys use it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now a lot of women use it.
I just think it's a stupid word to use for that term.
What?
It's a stupid word to use to refer to someone who's weak.
But you know what? A lot
doesn't
of
make sense.
People don't really look at those other side things about a word when they use it. They're just using the word for a certain meaning. I never use the word, but the one word I do use, which is similar and is actually a combination of that word and another word, is wuss. I will call people a wuss. And that is a combination of the word wimp and the P word.
How's it different from wimp, by the way? How is it different? It's just more mild? I mean, I knew that, but what's the difference between a wimp and a wuss?
Well, a wuss is a combination of the word wimp and the P word.
Right. But, I mean, what do you... But the wuss gets the same point across as wimp.
You're not only a wimp, but you're like a chick wimp.
Oh, okay. I guess there's a little more effeminate. Okay, makes sense. But wuss can only be used for a male. It's like calling a girl an asshole. You just don't do it unless it's Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I called Ted Nugent that on Facebook.
He's a guy.
Yeah, that's true. But
I'm saying certain things are gender specific.
That depending, I might.
Yeah, but it's like...
Listen, I use those words sparingly, but I do use them, and I would be lying if I pretended I didn't.
Okay, I'm just saying...
But I don't use the C word or the P word. I just think those are so low class. But remember, George Carlin used to have those 7 words you weren't allowed to say, and I think that most of them you could say now, so that's the thing.
Yeah, ass is definitely okay on the radio now.
Which one?
Ass.
Ass and also bitch.
Yeah. Ass I have to be conscious of because my Philly accent comes out a little too clearly.
I heard people today using the P word on the radio.
Oh, really?
For the Donald Trump thing. They played
the clip. Okay, but that's news.
They played the clip and they repeated the word. So if you can do it for that, you can do it now, apparently.